Welcome to Our Beautiful Chaos, a podcast about all things life, love, and just the stuff that make this life chaotic. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today for episode 4 of my new podcast. Welcome to Our Beautiful Chaos. I'm your host, Leanne Taylor, and I hope you're all staying safe and well in this pandemic quarantine world. Oh, it's basically our new normal lives. But if you're new to my podcast, I want to say welcome, and I'm so happy you decided to join me today for my new series. Wait for it. My You Do You series. This series has been kind of a working progress. I've just been working on it for a good little while. But please take a few minutes and catch up on the previous episodes. As time goes on, I'm probably not going to be able to list episodes and explain what you might have missed out on in each one of them. But since I'm just starting out, I will try to give you a quick synopsis on the last few episodes. Episode 1, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's an introduction episode. It's a little about me. Basically, the title speaks for itself. You can hear a little bit about my story, why I chose to go on this podcast journey. It's just really, just kind of a new introduction episode. It's not long, but I wanted to take time to introduce myself, give some background information about my life, what I'm doing, why I decided to do this podcast thing. Episode 2, What Would You Do If You Were Not Afraid is the title. In this episode, I discuss what I would do if I was not afraid. I also discuss my fear of failing and getting out of that wonderful comfort zone that we have all found ourselves in from time to time. Episode 3 is called Build Your Armor. And when you listen to that title, it's kind of don't know how to take that title when you first hear it. But if you listen to it, in this episode, I talked about how you need to build your physical armor, your mental and emotional armor, and even building an armor of people that surround you. I can build my armor around me or surround myself with people who can protect me when I need it. Surround yourself with people and things that make you a better person and challenge you to do great. This is a process. It can take time, but I believe that building your armor around you and making you a better person, it can be beneficial. So I highly encourage you to listen to that episode, Build Your Armor. So if this is your first time listening to my podcast, then take a few minutes and go check out previous episodes. I really hope you like them and you'll continue to listen to this podcast every week. If you're not new to the podcast and you keep coming back every week to listen to the episodes, well, you know what? Thank you so much. It's so exciting that you came back to listen again. It's just crazy to me that people are actually listening and enjoying the topics that I've chosen. I really appreciate it. And I'm actually still in shock that people do still come back and listen and that I have new listeners join all the time. So hopefully you're enjoying it. I'm going to try not to disappoint you. My plan is to be here every week to upload a chat interview or just like what I have done so far, speaking about random thoughts or ideas that I've come up with. So if you have any thoughts or ideas or topics you'd like to hear about in this podcast, please send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. So last week, I mentioned about a giveaway I was going to have. How exciting, right? Well, I'm going to do it this week. And since I'm starting this podcast, I thought I'd start out with a surprise giveaway to a lucky listener. I will have a giveaway on my Facebook page, Welcome to Our Beautiful Chaos, shortly after this podcast goes up. So this podcast is going up on Sunday, and I do apologize for it being late because I said I would have my podcast on Fridays, but you know what? Life happened. So you just have to roll with it, right? And as you will probably notice as weeks go on, sometimes my podcast may not go up on Fridays. It's just how it is. Your job, your home life, your just whatever. I want to live my life and enjoy it. And because like I've told you previously, life is short and I'm going to enjoy life and I'm going to have fun with friends and spend time with my family. And if I'm at a friend's house till, 2:00 in the morning, enjoying their company, then that's what I'm going to do. So it's Sunday and the podcast is going to go up on Sunday. Well, I think it's Sunday. Yeah, it is. So back to my giveaway. The giveaway is, I'm kind of excited about it. It's just going to be something fun that I'm going to give to a lucky listener. So here's what you have to do to enter. You will need to like and share the post that I'm going to put on my Facebook page. Again, the page is Welcome to Our Beautiful Chaos. Please check it out. Also comment and tag 2 friends in that post. And I'm going to enter the names who enter the giveaway in a random drawing and pick a winner next Friday. So you know what? Good luck, everyone. And again, thank you for listening. I do really appreciate it. So let's get into why you actually got onto your podcast media and listened to me today. My new series, You Do You. How exciting. Yes, I'm calling it a series because it's going to be a 3-part episode series called You Do You. So you may be wondering what that even means. Let me start at the beginning. So I'm going to take you back a little bit to 2018, 2019 in my life. I was working a lot. I was busy with a lot of things, new job, family stuff going on, and trying to keep from drowning in it all, to be honest. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed all those things I was doing at the time, but I was crazy busy. And I had no time for myself. I love my 2 jobs, but they were keeping me so busy, especially with certain things that were going on in my family at the time. I was traveling a lot when I one of those jobs, so it was hard to keep up with things at home. I was learning a lot because my normal everyday job was still kind of new. So you can tell I just had a lot going on at the time. So fast forward to like the end of 2019, and things started to slow down a little bit in my professional life, but still not in my personal life. They were just getting a lot more busy. I had been talking to a good friend of mine for a while, and during the busy times, she and I had been saying to ourselves, you know what, we're done with this. We're going to take some time off, and we're going to do things for ourselves. Well, one day, right? It's kind of the same thing you say, well, when this slows down, when we get done with this project, when we have time, we're going to do this. People, if you take anything out of that and out of this podcast, don't wait to do that. Don't wait for this to happen or that to happen, or do things now. I keep telling you guys, life is short. Enjoy the time you have. So I know that was really not on topic, but it's the truth. So back to it. We're going on a girls' trip, she says. Me? Yeah, I'm all in. Let's go. Or we're just going to spend a time away from work, just doing things that we want to do, even if they're separate from each other. You know, she and I are like best friends. And it's like, we're going to do things. She's going to do things to her house and her, yard. She has all these plans. I'm going to do things to my house. I got all these plans I want to do. Well, we had all these plans for the upcoming year. So did you do the math? That was going to be 2020 that we were planning all these things for. I made that decision that year for 2020 was going to be my year to do things for me. I was not being selfish when I say that, but I made the year 2020 my You Do You year. I don't think it's really being selfish when you look after yourself in the ways that I'm talking about. So in the next 3 episodes, I'm going to talk about how you make 2020, or how I did 2020, a You Do You year. You could pick 2021 because obviously we're almost done with 2020, and it hadn't been the exact year that I wanted, or even the year that we've all wanted, because it's kind of taken a turn in a different way. It's kind of like one of these hurricanes. You think it's coming one way, and then it ends up going a different way, or it's complete destruction. It just levels everything in its path. And it's kind of the way I feel about 2020, maybe. It has knocked us just slam off our feet. We weren't expecting it. It didn't happen the way we planned, but we're dealing with it, and we're picking up the pieces. It just knocked us on our butt, really, to be honest. But we're picking it back up and moving on. So I'm making all these plans for 2020, and 2020 comes around, and it's like, well, okay, I don't know if all these plans that I made are actually going to happen. But I still think taking care of myself in these ways is going to make me a better person for me and for others. So I made a decision. And I think my friend did too. We're not stopping. Even though we're in this pandemic quarantine world, we're still going to make 2020 our You Do You year. I even got a shirt made. I even had a person in Cochrane, a friend of mine, she made me a shirt, and it said You Do You, because it's so accurate. We need to take some time for ourselves and make a lot of things about us, and not in selfish ways. I still do things for people. I still try to help out any way I can with other people, because that's the way I was raised. And you do put others first. However, if I don't take care of myself, I'm not good to anybody else either. But like I said, I didn't expect the quarantine pandemic situation to happen. So there went the girls' trip and some other plans my friend, may have had. But that didn't stop us from making 2020 that you do year. I also set work and personal goals for myself in 2020. I can even tell you that I have accomplished all of those goals already. It's September, October. Oh, we're already in October, aren't we? Yeah. See how time has flown? And I've already accomplished those. So, I didn't make many goals for myself because I didn't know if I would be able to accomplish them. I'm kind of glad that I didn't make many because I made a small list and I got them done. But, it worked for me. So that brings me to this episode. This episode is mainly geared to your physical care. So I wanted to start talking about physical care and what it involves. It involves activities that will improve your physical health, such as diet and exercise. Okay, I know this is not going to be a fun topic. I know it's hard to exercise. I started back exercising, and I've been walking and running around town or the neighborhood. I mean, if some of y'all are local listeners, y'all might have seen me, and y'all might have seen me sweating and about to die. Because it's hot in July, and I have been doing it when it is hot at 90 degrees at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And it is not a smart time to be running or walking. But I've done it anyway. And I may not be where I want to be, may not be where I used to be, but at least I'm out there trying. So I thought that was a great goal that I just started back. And, I did it. Diet is another difficult one to tackle. I know what we eat is more than half the battle. So if you figure out what you're eating, is it good for you? Is it not good for you? Know what you're eating. Know what you're putting in your mouth. That's half the battle won right there. I heard one time that losing weight is like 80% diet and 20% exercise. So if you can take care of 80% of the diet factor, that's a whole big part of it. I believe that if you eat better, I know you're going to feel better, and then you get the part of losing weight at the same time. Now, when you get to be my age of 43, it's a lot harder to lose weight than when I was 33. Go figure. That kind of sucks, but that's okay. But my thoughts have really changed on weight loss since I got older. I'm going to save some of that for another podcast because I have another one coming up on weight loss and my weight loss journey and how I'm still in that. But remember, weight is just a number. It does depend on how you feel and how you feel about yourself that matters, because I will tell you a little tidbit about that weight on that scale, on that little bitty box that we stand on, and we look at it, and it either makes a decision on how we feel about ourselves as people, all from that number on that box. You go to the doctor and you look at that number on a box. Some number on a box is going to make you decide how you feel that day about yourself. I do not think so. How I feel about myself is I'm going to decide that with how I feel, like, do my bones hurt every day, or how do I feel when I got out of bed today, or how do I feel walking around, or, well, I kind of feel a little old today because my bones are a little old, and I stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm kind of tired, but not because of a number in a stupid box. That does not define who I am. Not today, not tomorrow. Maybe it did yesterday, but not anymore. But all that is going to be another podcast, so stay tuned for that. It also means seeing your doctor when you're sick and taking time to rest. So rest is important. And I didn't realize how important rest is until I got older. I need rest more now than I did when I was younger, even though it's hard for me to sit still and rest. Y'all, I can't even hardly sit through a movie anymore. My husband and I don't even go to movies at a movie theater because I can't sit still for an entire movie. Yep, you heard me. We watch them here at home. We watch them on Netflix or HBO or whatever we have, that we find when we like or whatever. I can't sit still. It's hard for me to rest. He has to literally make me sit down. And that's crazy because I feel like I always need to be doing something. I can sit for a 30-minute sitcom show, and that's about it. Football games. I watch football games. It's still hard for me to sit for a whole football game. But a good football game, you can get me to sit. On commercials, I'll get up and go do a couple things or, go get something and come back and sit. But a good football game, I might sit through one. But, rest is so important, and you really need it, I think, the older you get. So some examples to care for yourself physically. Again, develop a regular sleep routine. I know that I do much better if I get a certain number of hours of sleep per night. Well, I'm going to tell y'all, I have a sleep number bed, and my sleep number bed says that, lady, you're not getting enough sleep, because it gives you a score on this app thing, and it is basically laughing at me, y'all. My score is terrible compared to my husband's. So it's telling me I'm tossing and turning and not getting any sleep, and I'm not getting enough hours, and it's crazy. But I'm working on it. If you've had trouble getting the recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep, I got some tips for you. Okay, y'all ready? Set a schedule. Have a bedtime routine every night. 9:30, y'all. We're ready to go to bed at my house. Make your bedroom a no electronic zone. That one's a little harder. Exercise earlier in the day. I did find that if I exercised a little later at night, my brain, raced a little too much. So I have gotten a little better about that. Avoid caffeine and alcohol. Alcohol may make you sleepy, but it does not allow your body to progress into a deep sleep, which is what you need to get good sleep at night. Also, people, do not smoke. So try and eat a healthy diet. That's really better to get you physically in better shape. Take lunch breaks. This one is a really big deal for me, and I know a lot of other people that I know. I know that we're in a different time right now, so where some of us work at home. So we all need to take a few minutes for ourselves at lunch. This one's real hard for some people because, and I'm including myself in this one, because we sit at our computers for, 9-10 hours a day, and we don't take lunch. We just eat our lunch at our computer. I am awful at this. Awful, people. I have breakfast and lunch at my computer. This is not a good thing. You need to take yourself away from your computer at lunch. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but you need to take a lunch break. Go for a lunchtime walk if you can't get exercise any other time. You're taking care of two things. You're taking yourself away from your computer at lunch, having a lunch break, and you're getting exercise. Done. It's out of the way for the day. Give up caffeine. This one is a hard one for me. I've done it before, but it's really hard. And start drinking more water. I'm still working on this one too. But if you improve your physical health, you will be able to maintain your mental health as well, and therefore can be better in supporting someone you care about, and it's more effective. Exercising regularly is an important part of staying both physical and mentally healthy. This physical health journey also takes time. Y'all, it's a process. Don't think that you can do this overnight. You did not get to where you are physically overnight. So you're not going to get to where you want to be overnight either. So when I started my path to take care of myself, to take a little bit better care of myself and making decisions that benefit me more, I started following this pair of sisters. Their names are Julie and Carrie. They have an Instagram page. It's called A Natural Shift. And they were awesome. So let me tell you a little bit about them. I have known them since they were kids. They're actually from my hometown. And I started watching their Instagram stories and really listening to the discussions they were having on food and health issues. One of them is a nurse practitioner, Julie, and Carrie's a pharmacist. That was what they went to school for, and that was, what they were doing. You can check them out on their Instagram at A Natural Shift, but they also have a website, anaturalshift.com. On the website, you can learn all about them. They have podcasts as well. They also have free printables, a weekly meal planner, a free self-care checklist. I really think that you're going to love this dynamic duo. Julie and I have been talking about different things. She's really helped me. She's introduced me to some supplements that I haven't not started on. I'm sorry, Julie, but that I need to get started on. And she's given me a list that I just have to go and get. So I guess you could say that me deciding to make 2020 my You Do year was a selfish thing. But I think it was the best selfish thing that I could ever done for me. It's making me become a more better me. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think it was the best choice I ever made. So I'm sure I'll figure something out for 2021, but I've still got a couple months left of 2020, and I'm going to continue on my journey of that. So, you know what? It's going to be exciting. We'll see how it ends. But I wanted you to join me next week for my next episode of this series. You do you, your mental health and your emotional health. But to learn more about me and this podcast, please visit my website, welcometourbeautifulchaos.org. Also, if there's a specific topic you'd like me to talk about, please send me an email to ourbeautifulchaos00@gmail.com. And don't forget about the giveaway, y'all. I will have a giveaway post on Facebook shortly after this podcast goes live. And here are the instructions again. So everybody ready? You're going to need to like and share the post. Also comment and tag 2 friends. And I'm going to enter the names in a random drawing and pick a winner next Friday. Well, I think I'm going to end it here for now. Thank you for listening to Welcome to Our Beautiful Chaos. I hope you all have a great week. Peace. Welcome to Our Beautiful Chaos, a podcast about all things life, love, and just the stuff that make this life chaotic.